And welcome everyone to the Superhero Forge podcast, where we help geeks, gamers, and cosplayers burn fat, gain muscle, and get into their own hero shape. This is Troy Bushido. I am certified personal trainer and been a geek, gamer, and cosplayer for way too many years. And today on the podcast, we're talking She-Hulk. Not only cultural impact, but how to get a bit of that, let's call it gamma radiated ass. But just as a friendly reminder, this is in podcast format. If you're watching this from YouTube, feel free to put your device down and play me in the background while you cook, clean, do work out, or just geek out like your Warhammer miniatures or gaming, whatever you want to do. Also, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you prefer a legit podcast channel, be sure to find me on Spotify, Superhero Forge Podcast. So, She-Hulk. First off, before I talk about anything, one rule at Superhero Forge, both in the audios as well as our Discord, by the way, links in the description below. I know my editor will probably help me on that, is we have a 1 week embargo from spoilers. Hopefully we can enforce that. So anything I talk about right now meant we're talking about the She-Hulk episode from last week. At the time of this recording, this is a Thursday, which means the new She-Hulk episode is out. I have not watched it yet. I will not be talking about it at all for today's podcast. But there's enough ramification that came from last week. Mainly a CGI twerk. And I'm really getting sick and tired of that song. Bada yada 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 yada. Bada yada 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 yada. Okay. That song aside, my friends, what the fuck is wrong with certain people? Now I'm talking about the people that have a problem with She-Hulk twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. Why? Why do you gotta ruin everyone else's fun? Why do you gotta make it a problem? Why do you gotta make everything your problem? Especially if a piece of media is minding their own business and serving the audience, which is the Marvel TV people, not just Marvel movie people, but Marvel TV people. And it's catering to a diversification of crowd, which is what the TV shows are designed to do. The TV shows are designed to show other facets of the MCU world and the culture behind the MCU world. Like, it's like everyone had a problem with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a Black Captain America. Oh my God, they had a problem with Miss Marvel, and basically it was a. I wasn't a fan of Miss Marvel. I admit that it was basically turning red. But in superheroes and MCU, and now they have a problem with She-Hulk. There ain't nobody had a problem with Loki. I wonder why. I don't want to say it out loud, but if you're thinking it, I'm probably thinking it too. So, understand that Marvel's designed to showcase and appeal to different cultures, predominantly American cultures. And if some certain demographic of the world out there has a problem with it, as much as they like saying this, I'm going to say it. Love it or leave it. And I ain't talking about the USA. I'm talking about your Disney Plus subscription. Love it or leave it. But don't make it your problem when everyone else is having a good time. When we do get women empowerment and true women empowerment, meaning women empowerment on their terms, not on your objectifying terms. Women don't need to twerk when you tell them to twerk. They twerk when they want to twerk. They twerk when they're feeling it. And they don't need your approval, nor your pandering, nor your, not even your eyes, not even your appreciation. They do what they want to do. They do what is driven by the character and the story. Which brings me to the comic of She-Hulk. She-Hulk, kind of like Wonder Woman before her, was a story of women's empowerment, especially a sexual empowerment, where they can do things on their terms and do what they want because the men won't be able to stop them. Like She-Hulk, She-Hulk does some freaky shit in Marvel. It's all implicated because it's it's all rated T for teen in those comic demographics. But if anyone knows She-Hulk, knows that she is incredibly sexually liberated. She does what she wants, when she wants, how she wants. Why? Because she is a Hulk. Who the fuck is gonna stop her? Who the fuck would dare object to or objectify her? What's gonna happen? She's gonna kick your ass. You are not gonna handmaiden She-Hulk at all. So I encourage those who are ruining the fun time, stop being a toxic Timmy. Stop being the villain that we at Superhero Forge wants to fight, which is bullying, bigotry, and misogyny of all kinds. We fight against anyone who ruins anybody else's esteem, self and otherwise. Empathy is our main weapon, empowerment is the bullet in the gun. But we will fight against any toxic Timmy ruining anyone else's good time. So, with that said, what can someone do when they are empowered and inspired by She-Hulk to get in the best shape of their lives? Because yes, She-Hulk, like Bruce Banner Hulk, is a CGI character. So there's no celebrity workouts to get into Hulk shape. Or She-Hulk shape, because it's, CGI. Hello, I'm Kog. I made a rocks. So with that said, what can we do to get our inner Hulk out? And I'm talking like, and this is definitely dedicated to She-Hulk cosplayers. Heather Bodie, shout out to you. First off, I'm going to say it for every single female empowered character in MCU and any cosplayer doing so, get stronger. Get stronger. So let's define get stronger for a second. So getting stronger is the ability of the muscle to be able to perform better at lifting or producing force. And sometimes when someone gets stronger, they put on more lean muscle onto the tissue. So here's the thing about muscle tissue. There's so many studies about like how to gain muscle or how to get stronger. They're finding out two things. One, the rep range is pretty vast. You can get stronger from anywhere from 5 reps per set to as much as 20 reps per set. As long as you hit what they call technical failure, meaning you're doing the reps and you could only get maybe 1 or 2 reps left at all, and it's starting to get ugly. That's what technical failure is all about. If you can get to that point each and every set or on your working sets, you're going to recruit that muscle tissue. Also, it doesn't matter what the modality is. So if you are, say, a girl or somebody who identifies as a girl and you're not even able to do push-ups, terrific. Awesome. Find a different version of push-up that you would be able to do, challenging yourself for 5 to 20 reps. And just keep increasing the repetition until you can get to that 20. Once you get to that 20, find a harder version of the push-up. Start again. So when you ramp up either reps per set or the weight or resistance used per set, you're going to recruit muscle tissue. So whatever you do, you can gain muscle that way. Now, my coaching intern, Coach Mac, she is sometimes a power lifter and sometimes a physique competitor. So she is used to slapping plates on plates on plates on a barbell and either deadlifting the hell out of it or squatting it. And she is getting into that really powerful shape that she can be in. So, by the way, shout out to Coach Mac. Look her up on Instagram at MacSoapbox. And so, going more specific into the female characters, such as She-Hulk, the trick is going to be using lower body exercises to create that response in the lower body. Now, right out the gate, you're not going to be doing booty bands till the cows go home. If you're trying to get that ass like a twerking She-Hulk, doing those glute kickbacks, I'm sure I could find it in B-roll, but like you're basically having a resistance band and you're just kicking it back and forth, trying to burn that ass. It will not elicit that growth in the glute muscle, especially the glute muscle, which is the strongest muscle of the human body. You're going to have to give the lower body some what they call compound exercises. What is a compound exercise? It's essentially an exercise that hits a lot of muscle at once. The big two in the world, squat and deadlifts. A variation of a squat, such as either a barbell back squat, a goblet squat, even a leg press machine, is a version of squat that you're going to have to use because both the quads, which are the thighs, the front of the thighs, and the glutes, which is the booty, work together. Deadlift is another thing where you're using either a kettlebell, a barbell, or a trap bar to lift a weight from the ground to a full standing position with your core and your glutes being squeezed. Again, the glutes are very strong. You gotta give it exercises that require a lot of efforts. So I could give you three out the gate: variation of a squat, a variation of a deadlift, and a variation of a hip thrust or glute bridge. What's a hip thrust or glute bridge? Something that directly puts the weight on the hip bone and forces it to go into a full extended position, squeezing that booty. Now notice, again, I didn't do any booty side steps or some booty kickbacks. That's icing on the cake. To get a nice thick booty cake, you need compound exercises. That's how you build the cake. Nobody built cake on frosting. One thing you're definitely going to want to remember when it comes to building lean muscle tissue, especially in the lower body. You're not going to pop a Kim Kardashian booty without surgery. Meaning, you know you're on the right track if your thighs are developing along with your butt. Ain't nobody out there going to have legs that are shaped like this and then it comes up to an ass like that. Unless it's implants. Because you're putting the glutes through such a stressful situation with the heavier squats, the heavier deadlifts, and the hip thrusts. The thighs, the quads, and the hamstrings are gonna have to come into play to help. And what does that mean? It means they get developed too. You know a natural ass from a fake ass by something of what I like to call the S curve. If you sat or stood somebody facing sideways like this, and if they're facing that way, if their ass sweeps like this and their legs sweep like this, you see that? That's an S curve. That means they have built their glutes naturally because the lower body all worked together. So, just to summarize the big 3 points, compound exercises, multiple muscle group exercises are going to be the bread and butter of your program. You're going to want to increase reps and or increase weights because you could develop muscle anywhere from 5 to up to 20 repetitions per set of any exercise. And number 3, you're going to have to want to go to technical failure, meaning right when the repetitions start getting ugly and you start either throwing the body into it, they start slowing down. That means you're about 1 to 2 reps to muscle failure. If you could get there consistently and see yourself progress over time, you will develop Hulk power. And that's it. That is simple as that. If you need more specific tips or anything elaborated, feel free to drop it into the comments. If this is on YouTube, feel free to DM me. If you're listening to this on Spotify, DM me on Instagram at superhero.forge. And if you need a more complete program, we're actually doing trial versions of our Superhero Forge app, our online remote-based training app that you can take with you to any gym or even home workouts to get in the best shape possible. I'm the one who runs it. I put the workouts in, you take it with you on your phone, and you do it from any gym possible. You'll also have a group chat in there, which leaves you connected to me where we can communicate and I could go over any questions, anything like that. So, if this episode had a sponsor, it's self-sponsored. The trial versions of the Superhero Forge app, these will be 21-day trials. They will be available sometime next week. Keep on the lookout. But once again, follow me at superhero.forge on Instagram, Superhero Forge Fitness on TikTok. Like, share, subscribe on this if you're watching it on YouTube. And until then, just remember, be the hero of your world. I'll talk to you in a bit.